President Erdogan has a habit of using Turkish resources for the benefit of his own political fortunes. What I worry about most, and unfortunately it seems to have come to pass, is that Erdogan was going to prioritize relief in those areas run by municipalities that voted for him. When it comes to the predominantly Kurdish HDP or other municipalities run by the political opposition, it seems that much of the earthquake relief is passing them by. That sets a very dangerous precedent, and it's a humanitarian tragedy. Certainly, at the very least, there should be an assessment, an ongoing assessment in full transparency about where any international aid is going. It should be triaged to those areas most in need rather than those most politically convenient for the Turkish president. Well, certainly. And actually, if you go back to 2016 in the Persian language press, in their military newspapers, for example, Sobi Sadak, which is a weekly of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Iranian military is bragging that the Russians were begging for Iranian drone technology. And this is, again, 5 years before the Ukraine war. So this military to military relationship is deep. What I worry about, however, is two things. Number one, the Iranians often don't simply export drones. They export the ability to manufacture their drones. They've been quite open, for example, about building a drone factory in Syria and another one in Tajikistan. The question is whether they're also building that for Russia and whether Russia could use those drones not only against the Ukraine, but against others as well. The other thing that I worry about in terms of the drone trade from Iran to Russia is Iran last basically built its air force in the last years of the Shah's rule. So Iran is the only country, for example, that's still flying F-14s, which the United States stopped flying years ago. Now, every 3 months or so, an Iranian jet fighter crashes, which means that the Iranian government, the Iranian Air Force, has less than 3 dozen jet fighters left. What I worry about is that Iran and Russia are engaged in a trade where Iran will give Russia drones, and then Russia will help rebuild the Iranian Air Force. And that could present a threat to all the countries surrounding Iran, especially in the Gulf. The United Arab Emirates is quite open about what their strategy and their policy is. They've embraced, rather than any of the traditional isms, Arab socialism, Islamism, any of those ideologies, the United Arab Emirates has decided that they are going to be a mercantile hub, a hub where everyone can do business. In effect, what they're going to do is be a political or diplomatic Switzerland while they try to do as much business as possible. So from an American perspective, we might complain about the presence of Iranians doing business in the United Arab Emirates. But from the United Arab Emirates position, they're going to do business with whoever wants to do business with them. And so and it's a strategy which obviously has worked. While Abu Dhabi within the United Arab Emirates has oil, Dubai traditionally does not. And yet Dubai has been extremely successful with this model of basically being an open port, willing to do business with everyone. So look, if more countries could be like the United Arab Emirates, I would think that would be a good thing because they wouldn't be distracted by some of their political ideologies and animosities. I mean, first of all, to be perfectly honest, I don't have a great deal of information about the intrusion by the Chinese balloon. Certainly, what has transpired, according to open source media, is not only have we had this balloon which traversed the United States, but now as we go back over the forensic radar data, we realize that this has happened at least 2 or 3 times previously during the Trump administration where we didn't realize it. So what we've done is we've identified a hole in our national security, and now I'm sure that the Biden administration is working overtime in order to ensure that we are able to pick up and intercept any balloon that comes our way. No longer can they operate outside of the traditional radar signatures. Now, when it comes to China, of course, China, my argument with China is pretty consistent, that President Xi is a bully, and the way to address a bully is to stand up to him. And that means shooting down the balloons no matter what the Chinese say. That means ensuring that there is freedom of navigation in all the waterways, including the Taiwan Strait. So I don't see any specific strategy as a relation to this balloon. It's rather that the United States needs to secure its own borders, secure its own airspace, and frankly, not give in to any Chinese demands with regard to freedom of navigation in the Taiwan Strait or the South China Sea.
Hey, Maria Malouf here. Please click to like and subscribe to Maria Malouf TV YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.